Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you're tuning in from around the globe, peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Welcome to the Trillion Dollar Tickers broadcast. I'm your host, Matt Riches. This is your pre-market briefing for Wednesday, February 25th, 2026. We have no major macro catalysts this morning from Forex Factor, no red folders, no orange folders, but earnings volatility is still here. And after the bell, the most valuable company in the world, our number one $1 trillion ticker, does have earnings. That is NVIDIA, y'all. So today's about positioning, reaction, and discipline ahead of the heavyweight close. I track the headlines, the data, and the market levels so you don't have to. This show is for education and entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research, but you can use this show as a foundation. Let's get into the mantra. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be happy. I deserve the wealth that I'm building for me and my family. Riches and freedom, they come to our hands. I am the master of all I command. My learning is limitless. My earnings are too. The more I discover, the more I can do. The stock market is a machine of design, and I have the power to make that wealth mine. I am capable. I am skilled. I am bold. Blessings on the journey as the vision unfolds. Okay, let's check out the earnings that we had yesterday after market close. We had Mercado Libre. They missed by 4% on earnings, and they beat on revenue by 3%. As you can see, they're down about 6% from yesterday's close. Next, we had CAVA. Wonderful beat on earnings by 47%. Small beat on revenue by over 2%. And you can see it's up by 9.5% in the pre-market. Next, we had Workday. Workday beat on earnings by 6% and a small beat on revenue. As you can see, is down about 9% from yesterday's close. And in the pre-market today, we had TJ Maxx. They beat on revenue and earnings by about 2% each. And it's down a little bit in the pre-market. Excuse me. And after market today, in the big dog, NVIDIA. Let's see if NVIDIA can save the market from a terrible month in February. At least save the $1 trillion tickers, y'all. Also reporting after market close, we have Salesforce, Trade Desk, Snowflake, Synopsys, and IONQ. All right, let's get into Robert Greene's daily law. Be relentless in your pursuit for expansion. Whenever you feel like you are settling into some circle, force yourself to shake things up and look for new challenges. How does that relate to long-term investing? Expansion in markets means continuous learning. Read beyond headlines. Study sectors outside of your comfort zone. Track new industries like AI infrastructure, quantum computing, automation. If you only operate within one narrow style, growth stagnates, expansion compounds. And when it comes to trading, don't get comfortable trading only one setup or one ticker. Study new patterns, adapt to volatility regimes. Earning seasons like today force traders to expand skill sets. Gap trading, post-income drift, volatility compression. Growth comes from pushing beyond routine. All right, so let's check out. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. We're going to get into the market caps for our $1 trillion tickers. But let me finish setting this up, y'all. It'll take about 15 seconds to set it up. All right, there we go. All right, market caps for our $1 trillion tickers. We have number one, NVIDIA, 4.69 trillion, followed by Apple, 3.99 trillion, Google, 3.76 trillion, Microsoft, 2.89 trillion, Amazon, 2.23 trillion, TSM, 2 trillion on the dot, Meta, 1.61 trillion, AVGO, 1.54 trillion, Tesla, 1.53 trillion, Berkshire B, 1.06 trillion, and Walmart is still in the $1 trillion tickers at 1.01 trillion, y'all. All right, let's check out the pre-market levels for our $1 trillion tickers. We have NVIDIA is currently at 194.73. Google is at 312.09. Apple 271.08 in the pre-market. Microsoft 391.45. Amazon 208.56 in the pre-market. Excuse me. Amazon 209.84 in the pre-market. TSM 290.56 in the pre-market. AVGO looking very strong. AVGO 330.98 in the pre-market. Meta 642.46 in the pre-market. Tesla 411.85 in the pre-market. And Berkshire B 494.21 in the pre-market, y'all. All right, let me set up our 8 ticker display here. Top left hand corner we have NVIDIA. To the right we have Google, Apple, and Microsoft. Underneath NVIDIA we have Amazon. To the right, TSM, AVGO, and Meta Platforms. Looks like I missed TSM yesterday. Did I? Yes, TSM hit an all-time high yesterday, and it's going to hit one at market open today, y'all. Dope. Super dope. All right. Let me write peace, blessings, financial freedom in the chat, y'all. All right. We got about 30 seconds for market open. In New York, they was hitting the police. The police tried to shut down a snowball fight, and they ended up getting hit with the snowballs, y'all. It was pretty funny. Market open. Market open. Market open. Market open. The market is open. February 25th, 2026. Wednesday, 6:30 a.m. We are here, y'all. Let's get into it. NVIDIA is up 1%. It's trying to break out of this consolidation zone, y'all. I think it will break out during the market open, and we'll see what happens after market close when they have earnings. But yeah, it's getting very close to the top of the consolidation zone. Currently, it's at 194.31. Google is down. Google is barely over break even at 311. Apple's at break even at 272.18. Microsoft is up almost 0.75% at 392. Amazon is up 1.25%. Look like it's headed toward the gap at 211.20. TSM hit an all-time high today, y'all. It's currently at 387.75. AVGO looking really strong. It's up almost 3% at 335, y'all. Meta is up over 0.5% at 643.20. Tesla is up almost 2% at 416.70. And Berkshire B is barely under break even at 494.30, y'all. All right, let's check out some of our other tickers before we get into the news. Look at SPX up over 0.5% at 6,925. SPY is back over 690, y'all. It seems like it's been a while, y'all. It seems like it's been a while. SPY is at 690.81 right now. It's up 0.5%. The NAS 100 is back over 25,000, y'all. It's at 25,170. It's up almost 1%. QQQ is back, y'all. QQQ is over 610 right now. It's 612.61, y'all. It's up 0.75%. And Pam Bondi's Dow Jones is at 49,335, y'all. It's up almost 0.5%. The Dow Jones ETF is up 0.25% at 493.14. The VIX has dropped dramatically from yesterday. It was over 22 yesterday, and now it's 18.73. The 10-year Treasury note gapped up since when does gap up? Since yesterday, it gapped up, and now it's at 405. Gold is at $5,179 an ounce. The Gold Mini Shares Trust is at 102.50. The iShares Silver Trust gapped up from yesterday, y'all. It's at 82.15. The Copper Miners ETF gapped up as well. It's up almost 3% at 95.85. AMD is not moving to the upside on this NVIDIA pressure. NVIDIA upside pressure. AMD is not getting any of it. AMD is down over 0.5% at 212.56. Bitcoin likes what's going on. Bitcoin is up to 66,579. IBIT is up almost 3.5% at 37.74. Ethereum is up over 6% at 19.73. BM&R gapped up. It's over $20 now. It's at 20.75. Palantir is up almost 2% at 131.10. And Robinhood is up. Crypto is up, so Robinhood is up over 3% at 75.60. All right. Yeah, so this the NYPD tried to shut down a snowball fight for some reason. Like it's illegal to have a snowball fight. So what ended up happening? Everybody just start throwing snowballs at them. All right, next. The Slauson and Crenshaw intersection in Los Angeles, where Nipsey Hussle grew up, is set to be renamed Nipsey Hussle Square, honoring his legacy and community impact. Shout out Nipsey Hussle, y'all. All right. So yesterday, when Trump was doing the State of the Union, he talked about how he was gonna help out people who had jobs that did not match the retirement portion. Check it out.
Our country access to the same type of retirement plan offered to every federal worker. We will match your contribution with up to $1,000 each year.
Shout out to Trump, man. I am somebody who has a job that does not match, so I do not invest with them. I do my own Roth IRA. But if Trump creates some accounts next year and they're gonna match $1,000, I'm gonna put $1,000 a year up in there. Let's go, Trump. All right, next is from Elon talking about Optimus. Check it out, y'all. It's pretty dope.
Optimus humanoid robot, and you combine that.
Hold on, let me rewind it.
Long term also is to say, if you take parts of the Optimus humanoid robot and you combine that with a neural link, let's say somebody has lost their arms or legs, we could actually attach an Optimus arm or Optimus legs and do a neural link implant so that the motor commands from your brain that go to your biological arms now go to your robot arms or robot legs. And again, you'd have basically cybernetic superpowers.
Ooh, y'all heard that? Y'all heard that? The future is here, y'all. The future is here. That's super dope. That's super dope. So if you lose a limb, you can get a robotic limb, put the Neuralink chip in your brain, and then you can control the robotic limb with your brain. That's so dope. We are so in the future. Shout out Elon for making it possible. If you can see on my screen here on YouTube, they have a robot shoveling snow in New York City. The Reflex QR humanoid is turning heads by clearing sidewalks in New York. 16 plus hours runtime per charge. They're selling them for about $50,000 each. But it's clearly shoveling snow so you don't have to. Shout out to the robot, y'all. I know celebrities in New York will be buying these up. I wonder if our brothers from Earn Your Leisure will be buying one of these robots. Now, I think Troy said he was shoveling the snow himself. But I know Rashad is not going to do it. Because he said he'd rather pay somebody than do it himself. So Rashad, I'm expecting you to buy one of these robots, brother. Next. This is a quick clip that I saw that was pretty dope. Check out this brother and his wife.
I took care of my wife during nursing schools, supported her, was there. She had to pay no bills. She had to pay for nothing. Then she started her career as a registered nurse in 2 days. And guess what? It was all worth it, y'all. It was all worth it. It was all worth it, y'all. Cause the payoff about to happen, y'all. Peace.
That's dope. That's dope, man. Shout out to that couple right there. Salute to them. All right, next, let's check out the sectors. Started out with technology. XLK is up over 0.75% at 141.47. XLY is up 0.5% at 117.32. XLC is up 0.25% at 116.49. XLF is up 0.75% at 51.41. XLV is up over 0.5% at 158.76. XLP is down almost 0.5% at 89.32. XLE is down over 0.25% at 54.90. XLU is down barely under break even at 47.18. XLI is up over 0.25% at 177.42. XLB is up over 0.25% at 53.52. And XLE is at break even at 43.73. All right. Next, we have this is more from the State of the Union yesterday. U.S. President Donald Trump has asked Congress to pass a rule banning insider trading from Congress, he said yesterday at the State of the Union. He wants to pass the Insider Trading Act without delay, says J.D. Vance. He said J.D. Vance will lead the war on fraud. He added, ban investment firms from buying all these single-family homes they've been buying up for years now. He says tariff revenue can replace income tax, and that tech companies need to provide their own power for their AI data centers. And he said that should actually make electricity costs go down for the locations where the data centers are being built, because these hyperscaler companies are going to pay for all their own electricity needs. I thought that was a good idea. All right, next. Tim Cook says, Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, he says, as a part of a $600 billion commitment, the Mac Mini will be produced in the U.S. for the first time later this year. We are accelerating our progress even further, producing more AI servers and opening an all-new Apple Advanced Manufacturing Center for hands-on training. Yeah. Shout out to them. Okay, this was very interesting. Check this out, y'all. And I'm going to have a drink while y'all listen to this. Hold on, I gotta turn it up. So this is a 4th grader who's also enrolled in college, y'all. Can you believe it? Check it out.
I go to Pembroke Elementary School and Valley College.
Like many other 4th graders, she has dreams of being an artist, a fashion designer, or a surgeon. But unlike her peers, Honey Cooper is already making history.
I go to Pembroke Elementary School and Valley College.
Honey is a dual enrollment student at Kimbark Elementary and San Bernardino Valley College, something that her teachers and principals say is unheard of.
It's extremely rare, and so what I love about Honey doing this and starting this is she's paving the way. She's
we can skip her. I don't know why they even.
This can help kids, parents, and even teachers to help. So anyone can do what I'm doing right now.
She participates in theater, enjoys reading, and like other 10-year-olds, she loves to spend time with friends and family, something her mom says is very important.
We don't allow phone screen time at our home. It's very limited. So maybe she's not the average 4th grader when it comes to that. Spending time with her friends is very important because you have to work on that social skill.
And Honey says the support of her family has been her biggest motivator.
Because they always encourage me to try my best and always keep doing what I'm doing. And I think that really helped me because that's great. I always remember the quotes and make sure to never give up on what I'm doing. And now that I never gave up on my dream, I am now here right now, being a college student and an animation student.
Shout out to that young sister right there, y'all. She is a college student and an elementary school student. Incredible, y'all. Incredible. Next. This is from Walter Bloomberg on Twitter. He said, the U.S. holds China tariffs steady, signals limited escalation. The U.S. plans to keep tariffs on China in the 35 to 50% range, avoiding further escalation for now, according to the trade chief Jameson Greer. The policy aligns with Donald Trump's strategy as he prepares for talks with Xi Jinping to extend the tariff truce. While China tariffs stay stable, other countries could face above 15% as the U.S. rebuilds its broader trade measures. Bottom line, Steady stance on China, but selective tariff hikes elsewhere. Here's a piece of history. The US dollar turns 164 years old today. If you are on YouTube, you can see this original dollar, y'all. It looks pretty similar to what the money looks like today. This came out in 1862, y'all. The first $1 paper note had a portrait of Treasury Secretary Salmon P. Chase rather than George Washington. Washington was added to the $1 bill later in 1869. Wow. That's dope. All right. Oh, we got a strong buy on Netflix. We got an alert. Let's check it out. Let's check it out, y'all. Netflix. I wonder if that deal went through. Oh, yeah, it's running today, It's running today, Let's see. Oh, yeah, that thing gapped up. It's up almost 5% today. After this consolidation for about a week, this thing that gapped up. But it does have to break this previous lower high in order for me to continuously be bullish. So it does got a ways to go. It got to break this 84.65 previous lower high. But it is looking very strong. It has been very strong for the past 2 days. All right, next. Uber ride. This is from Business Insider. Uber riders can hail a motorbike or boat depending on where they live in the world. Soon, helicopter-like air taxis will join that list, y'all. A helicopter-like air taxi. You'll be able to call one with Uber. That's going to be so dope. They definitely got to do that in the Bay, too. You know what I mean? We got Silicon Valley right here. We don't need that. We got Uber right here. So we definitely going to need that here in the Bay. And I will be using it. That's dope. That's super dope. We in the future, y'all. I told you. We in the future, y'all. 2026. All right, next. Iran is conducting military exercises on Abu Musa and other islands near the Straits of Hormuz. Unmistakable threat to shut down the straits if the U.S. attacks. Iran has many drones and mines to put oil tankers at great risk and only need to sink a few to shut down shipping lanes for weeks or more. Iran surges oil exports as the U.S. builds a military presence. Iran has sharply increased oil shipments, loading nearly 20 million barrels between February 15th and February 20th, about triple its usual pace. The surge comes as the United States boosts military forces in the region, echoing past pre-conflict patterns. Tanker activity near Karj Island has jumped and storage levels are falling, showing rapid exports. Most shipments pass through the Strait of Hormuz, with tankers likely to disperse if tensions escalate. Oh, shit. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. Siri was listening in and decided to stop my music. There we go. All right, next. This is from Walter Bloomberg on Twitter. AI fears create buying opportunities in U.S. stocks. Morgan Stanley says recent market volatility driven by AI concerns may actually benefit investors. While some fear disruption, only a small share, about 13% of the S&P 500, is truly at risk, and those stocks are already cheap and underowned. Meanwhile, the companies adopting AI are seeing rising margins, stronger pricing power, and growing measurable benefits. Sectors like banking, business services, and software are expected to gain the most, with AI boosting productivity and capabilities. Bottom line, AI is more opportunity than threat, but stock picking remains key. All right, next, Coinbase just announced stock trading. Stock trading is now available on Coinbase to everyone in the United States, enabling customers to trade stocks and ETFs 24 hours a day, 5 days a week in the same place as their crypto, y'all. So I think Robinhood is going to have to take on that same capability. Or people that really want to trade, they are going to go to Coinbase so they can trade more often, y'all. All right. Claude has announced it now works with Excel and PowerPoint. Claude getting better and better, y'all. All right, next. Microsoft just announced a new partnership with Starlink. This collaboration expands the rest of the tools available to help deliver digital access in rural, agricultural, and hard-to-reach communities. When the $2 trillion tickers, well, Starlink is not a $1 trillion ticker because it's privately owned, but it is going to be under Tesla pretty soon, so we'll just call it a $1 trillion ticker collaboration in the making. All right, next. Uber just announced the launch of Uber Autonomous Solutions, a comprehensive suite of unique services and capabilities that are already helping partners to build and successfully commercialize autonomous vehicles in multiple markets around the world, y'all. Shout out Uber. Let me finish this coffee right quick, y'all. Give me a second. Let's get it. Let's get it. Now you gotta rinse so you don't get the green, so you don't get the brown grill. All right, next. Jeffrey Epstein stashed secret files in storage units across the U.S. that may include never before seen evidence. This is from the New York Post, y'all. Well, find them then. Find them and let us know whose name is in it and what they did, and send them all to jail. All right, next. Wells Fargo upgrades Google to overweight from equal weight with a price target of $387, up from a price target of $354. Shout out Google. Oh man. A few days ago, it was the 6-year anniversary of the brutal murder of Ahmaud Arbery, who was jogging through the neighborhood. They interviewed his mom.
Ahmaud Arbery as a bright spirit. Wanda Cooper Jones remembers her son Ahmaud Arbery as a bright spirit who loved working out and constantly improving himself.
He was an avid runner. He ran almost every day.
But on February 23rd, 2020, that routine would end. That day, the 25-year-old was shot and killed while out for a run in a neighborhood near Brunswick. The case drew national attention, including when civil rights icon Jesse Jackson attended the trial in support of the family. 3 white men, including a father and son, were convicted of murdering Arbery in what prosecutors describe as a racially motivated hate crime. All 3 men are now serving prison sentences.
How do you think?
We did get a little bit of justice on that case, since all 3 of them were actually serving time. This is America, folks, where they killed that black man for jogging through the neighborhood. At least they went to jail that time. Next, this is from the New York Post. Over 500 homes in San Diego are going up for auction. Some for as little as $2,000, y'all. San Diego fire too. It's always hot. That's some real good California weather right there, y'all. Starting at 2,000, I know it's gonna be a lot of people up in there trying to get that. All right, next. Check this out. This is interesting.
It's probably not the way most of us would describe nuclear chemistry.
I got it relatively quickly, and it was easy, and I liked it.
But Clarice Phelps isn't most of us. An engineer at Oak Ridge National Laboratory, every day Phelps works with radioactive material, furthering our understanding of the world around us. She may be best known for helping discover a periodic element, but her story started in the Edge Hill neighborhood of Nashville.
I wasn't a particularly great student, but that had to stem a lot from I wasn't really great at taking tests and stuff like that.
That changed when she joined the Navy and qualified to be in the nuclear power program. She started out as an operations technician and quickly moved up the ladder.
One of the first projects that I got to work on as a technician for R&D was the purification of the berkelium that was used to confirm element 117. So that was like my first project. That was pretty cool.
Element 117, also known as Tennessine, a landmark discovery for the periodic table.
It was part of the job that we were doing, and it was really cool because I was like, oh, I got to be a part of that. That was really neat. Now let me go make some nitric acid up.
It wasn't until later that she found out that she's now credited as the first Black woman to help discover a periodic element.
I Googled it, and I was like, well, I'll be, and so it turned out that it was actually true, and it was, honestly, it was a little scary because that's a lot of weight.
A weight that Phelps says she knew she had to take on because of how she felt growing up.
I need to be that person for those little girls that look like me who are looking for someone that's doing something that they want to do.
Shout out to Clarice Phelps, y'all. Nuclear scientist. Who would have thought we would still be discovering elements to put on the periodic table in 2026, y'all? That's dope. Super dope. All right, next. This is from Aristotle Investments. I don't know who needs to hear this, but every challenge you're facing, even the good things along the journey, are just the Most High preparing you for what you were praying for. That's why they say, be careful what you wish for, because you might get it. It'll always take longer, cost more, and be more stressful than you thought. That comes with the package of success, y'all. All right, so that's it for today, y'all. Oh, let me run the numbers. Let's check out the heat map, and then I'm gonna run the numbers, and we'll be out of here. All right. Look, I see a lot of red in energy. I see a lot of red in consumer services, a lot of red in utilities, a lot of red in consumer non-durables. I see a lot of green in tech. I see a little bit of red in tech. Yes, sir. Tech is the winner so far for today. Technology is up almost 2%, y'all. XLK. And we have 3 laggards. That is consumer staples, energy, and utilities. All over 1% to the downside. All right. Let me run these numbers. Look, y'all, NVIDIA broke out of the consolidation. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? Absolutely. Let's see if we can hold until market closes, and then we can get a nice pop after earnings. Let's go, NVIDIA. Save the market, NVIDIA, from this February turmoil. All right, next we have Google. Google is up 0.25% at 311.71. Apple trying to bounce back from those 2 terrible down days last week. We have this could be our 4th green day in a row for Apple. It's back to 273, y'all. Microsoft trying to have its 2nd green day in a row. It's up almost 2.5% today at 398, y'all. Amazon is up 1.25% at 211.28. TSM hit all-time highs today at 388.42. AVGL gapped up from yesterday. Is headed toward our diagonal resistance trend line here, but it's up almost 3% at 334.91. Meta is up almost 2%. Looks like it found some support on top of this gap. It's trying to head to the upside, but I do need it to break this 663.46 to be short-term bullish. It's currently at 650.51. Tesla is up almost 1.5% at 415.17. It did reject our diagonal trend line. Exactly. You talk about exactly. This is today's candle. This line been drawn on here. Exact sell off. As soon as it hit that, exact rejection at our diagonal trend line. Shout out to the trend line. And Berkshire B down over 0.5% at 491, y'all. Check out the ETFs. IWM barely over break even at 263.37. SPYM is up 0.5%. QQQM is up 1.25%. SPYG is up 1.25%. SOXQ hit all-time high today, y'all. It's up over 2%. TQQs is up over 3.5%. SOXL is up over 5%, y'all. Almost 5.5%. SOXX is up almost 2%. XLG is up. Gapped up from yesterday. Almost 1%. The IVES 30 is up almost 2%. SPYI is up almost 0.5%. And QQQI gapped up from yesterday. It's up over 1% today. All right. SPX. It's up 0.5%. SPY is up 0.5% at 690.82. The NAS 100 is up over 1.25%. QQQ hit 315.33, y'all. It's looking strong. It gapped up. Pam Bondi's Dow Jones is at 49,236. Dow Jones ETF is up, barely over break even at 492.26. The VIX is at 1875. Gold just hit 5,200 per ounce, y'all. 5,200 on gold. The gold mini is at 102.92. Silver is up almost 4%. Copper is up almost 2.5%. AMD is down 0.5%. Bitcoin is at 66,900, y'all. IBIT is up almost 4%. Ethereum is up over 7%. So BMNR is up over 8%. Palantir is up almost 3%. And Robinhood is up 2.5%, y'all. All right, let's get into Instagram before we get up out of here, y'all.
It ain't all good, but it ain't all bad either. So be thankful. Be happy. Smile. You're gonna be productive today.
We will be productive today.
Be happy. Y'all gonna be productive today. So just be happy. Be thankful.
Yes, sir. I like that little kid, man. Real positive. Let's go.
Said, go get that bag. Go get that bag. Get that bag. Get that bag. Get that bag. Go get that bag. Get that bag. Go get that bag. Said, go get that.
Once NVIDIA beat on earnings and give a great guidance, what's going to happen to NVIDIA stock?
Said, go get that bag.
Stockholders?
Get that bag. Get that bag. Get that bag. Get that bag. Go get that bag. Get that bag. Go.
You know how we like to end the show, y'all. Nipsey Hussle Square. Crenshaw and Slauson.
It don't happen overnight, and there's gonna be moments when it's really, really frustrating, and there's gonna be moments when it's really, really inspiring and empowering. And if you get too high off the highs and too low off the lows, you're gonna take yourself on a ride that's very uncomfortable. I think it's just about being committed to the work, appreciating it, when it's good, and not stressing too bad when it's bad. Just appreciating the work and staying focused on showing up every day. It don't happen overnight, and there's gonna be moments when it's really, really frustrating. And there's going to be moments when it's really, really inspiring and empowering. And if you get too high off the highs and too low off the lows, you're going to take yourself on a ride that's very uncomfortable. I think it's just about being committed to the work, appreciating it, when it's good, and not stressing too bad when it's bad. Just appreciating the work and staying focused on showing up every day.
That's what we do here, y'all. We show up every day. This is the $1 Trillion Tickers broadcast. I'm your host, Matt Riches. We'll be back tomorrow in the pre-market. Look out for NVIDIA earnings after market close. It's going to be a big one. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom.